Shantae Dent with part 2 from last week, the importance of not setting unrealistic expectations toward your spouse. I think about the dangers of setting those unrealistic expectations. Now, I'm glad my husband and I were able to talk about this and hone in early on in our marriage, but I imagine if we would not have had the tough or somewhat difficult or uncomfortable conversations in terms of the dangers of setting unrealistic expectations. So I want to encourage you to take a minute and consider what has been the outcome of you setting unrealistic expectations in your relationship, in your marriage. Like what good comes from that? I imagine you are frustrated because the need isn't being filled. You're also, your spouse is probably frustrated because of the unrealistic pull or the demand that's being put on him. So I hope that you are taking the time to consider going through a checklist. Like, what areas am I creating unrealistic expectations? And here's what I think is incredibly beautiful, that if you focus on decreasing the unrealistic expectations on your spouse and putting more focus and energy on becoming a better version of yourself, that's a beautiful life. That's a space of pure empowerment. So I'm keeping this short, sweet, and simple. Could you challenge yourself to pause and write it out? What are the areas where I am having unrealistic expectations from my spouse? And in those same areas, what can you do to work on yourself without your spouse needing to come into the picture and fix something or adjust something? Like, what can you do? I hope that you gain that sense of empowerment and experience beautiful change in your marriage.